This conference will now be recorded.
बिस्मिल्लाहिर्रहमानिर्रहीम। अली अल्लाह मदद फरमा। या अली मौला अली, या नूर मौला शाह करीम, या अली मौला अली, या नूर मौला शाह करीम, या अली मौला अली, या नूर मौला शाह करीम, या अली मौला अली, या नूर मौला शाह करीम, या अली मौला अली, या नूर मौला शाह करीम, या अली मौला अली, या नूर मौला शाह करीम, या अली मौला अली, या नूर मौला शाह करीम, या अली मौला अली, या नूर मौला शाह करीम, या अली मौला अली, या नूर मौला शाह करीम, या अली मौला अली, या नूर मौला शाह करीम, या मुकल्लिबल कुलूब, 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 या मुकल्लिबल कुलूब। शुक्रन लिल्लाहि वल्हम्दुलिल्लाह, शुक्रन लिल्लाहि वल्हम्दुलिल्लाह। या अली मदद अजीज सर।
या अली मदद, या अली मदद। बहुत खूब, बहुत खूब। या मुकल्लिबल कुलूब, ए दिलों को फेरने वाले, हमारे दिलों को फेर दे तेरी जानिब। ये इसका तर्जुमा भी था और ये इसकी अंडरस्टैंडिंग भी थी। बहुत खूब, सुभान अल्लाह। Thank you so much. Yeah, friends online, thank you for joining us this morning. Inshallah, it's going to be another beautiful sunny morning, a beautiful day. Let's start with Imam's blessed name. Nur Maulana Shah Kareem Al Hussaini, Hazir Imam, Hazir Imam. Ya Muqallib al Qulub, Ya Muqallib al Qulub, Ya Muqallib al Qulub, Ya Muqallib al Qulub। या मौला, हमारे दिलों को अपनी जानिब फेर दे मौला, कि हम तुझे नूर की रोशनी में, ईमान की रोशनी में, इल्म की रोशनी में देख सके मौला। या मौलाए मेहरबान मदद फरमा, या मौलाए मेहरबान, या मौलाए मेहरबान, या मौलाए मेहरबान मदद फरमा, मदद फरमा। या मौलाए मेहरबान मदद फरमा, मदद फरमा। या मौला तौफीक, ताहीद, हिम्मत व यारी मौला। या मौला अपने नूर से हम गरीबों की मदद फरमा मौला। या मौलाए मेहरबान हमारे करीब आ जा मौला, मौला हमारे करीब आ जा। या मौला अपना दस्त मुबारक हमारे कंधों पर रख मौला, ताकि हम तेरे नूर की रोशनी में, तेरे साये के नीचे, तेरे खाना वदान के जरिए से मौला, या मौला तेरी मदद के बगैर हम कुछ भी नहीं कर सकते हैं मौला। या मौलाए मेहरबान मदद फरमा, या रहमान या रहीम, या रहमान या रहीम, या रहमान या रहीम, या रहमान या रहीम, या रहमान या रहीम। अली अल्लाह मदद फरमा। तमाम साथियों को जो लाइन पर मौजूद है, एक बार फिर या अली मदद। Just to recap our previous session in short, in 2 minutes. आपको याद होगा कि हमने एक बहुत ही अजीब और गरीब सब्जेक्ट को उठाया था. You would remember, just to jog your memory and as a reminder, we had taken on a subject, and honestly, I wasn't sure that such a subject, how fruitful it would be and how many people will be able to understand. But with the Iman, the faith on Imam's help, we are at the 5th session on this subject. And what a subject! وَمَا قَدْرُ اللَّهَ حَقَّ قَدْرِهِ. We have not recognized and we have not understood Imam as we should have. हमने इमाम की कदर और इमाम की पहचान उस तरह से नहीं की जिस तरह से करने का हक था. इमाम ने बारहा फरमाया कि अपने जमाने के इमाम को पहचानो. Imam repeatedly, again and again, in every Jama, and even our Shah Karim al-Hussaini Hazir Imam Salatullah Alayhi, in his present Jama, have many times repeated, recognize the Imam of the time. And especially he emphasized with much sadness that I wish my Jamaat would recognize me. That was 50 years of Imamat. And when our leaders, LIF of International Leader Forum, asked Mullah Qudawand, how do we recognize you? Mullah said, take two things. And then this part of the Farman to the LIF, if, underline word, if you understand what I'm giving to you, and if you make it understand to the Jamaat, if you can convey this message to the Jamaat, and if they understand this, then they will be able to recognize me. And what was it? Aya Nur and Hadith Saklain. Now, if you remember our previous session, we had started with a Hadith Nabawi last week. Because this week's session, we are about to make 180-degree turn. We are done with the prefix, intro, the basic. Now we are about to get into the nitty-gritty of this subject. हमने पहले 4 चैप्टर के अंदर एक फाउंडेशन, एक बेसिक अंडरस्टैंडिंग को पेश किया. अब हम जा रहे हैं उसको सर्कल करके ऊपर की तरफ, यानी कि हमारा वो जर्नी जो इंट्रोडक्शन का था, जो पहले बातों को समझाने का था, वो यहाँ पर पूरा होता है. अब हम जो है ऊपर की तरफ लौटेंगे और उसका पाया हमने रखा, वो इस हदीस पर रखा था. Because we are about to make 180-degree turn into the subject, we laid a foundation upon this hadith. I hope, I truly wish that all of you who are giving their time for this knowledge are seriously paying attention, because this kind of subject does not and will not come every day. Do not miss, do not miss the understanding of this, and do not forget the value of what is being taught here. Inshallah, remember Imam's mercy upon us. If Imam's mercy was not on us, none of us would be here today, and there would not be possible to even come up with such a subject, almost impossible to understand without Imam's mercy. So don't forget shukr guzari for the Imam of the time, inshallah. So let's look at this hadith one more time, and then we will move on to our today's subject, chapter number 5. Huzur sallallahu alaihi wasallam, sallallahu alaihi, says that Ali will fight for the Tawil as I have fought for the Tanzil. The words of the Hadith are, a man amongst you will fight the people over the Tawil interpretation of the Quran in the same way I have fought over its Tanzil. Why the word fight? It could have been easily that as I had brought the Tanzil, Ali will bring the Tawil. But we notice he did not say that. आपने देखा कि ऐसा नहीं फरमाया कि जिस तरह से मैं कुरान को लेके आया, उसकी तंजील, उनके अल्फाजों को ले आया, इस तरह से अली उसकी तावील को बयान करेगा। क्या फरमाया कि जिस तरह से मैंने जंग की, लड़ा, कुर्बानी दी इस कुरान की तंजील के लिए, इसी तरह से अली को इसके लिए जंग करनी पड़ेगी। और किससे लड़ेंगे वो? तुमसे। कौन थे ये तुम? Who was he addressing this hadith to? Who was he referring to? Who was he addressing this talk to? And you know, he was speaking to Muslimin of that time. Just like that. आप समझते हैं कि ये बयान मुसलमानों को, उस जमाने के लोगों को दिया था। और क्या फरमाया कि देखो जिस तरह से मुझे तुमसे लड़ना पड़ा, काफरों से नहीं, तुमसे लड़ना पड़ा कुरान की तंजील के लिए, इस तरह से अली को तुमसे लड़ना पड़ेगा, झगड़ना पड़ेगा उसकी तावील के लिए। Just as I fought with you. Remember, he was speaking to Muslimin of the time. Ali would have to fight because you will not listen to him, you will not agree with him, you would never accept his interpretation. he would have to fight with you as you would argue with him. Just like that today. Unfortunately, we are not understanding the tawil, the interpretation of our tariqah, our teaching, Ginan, Farman, Quran. This hadith is as relevant today. And today this hadith is speaking of us, you and me. After 1400 years, Imam is still fighting for the understanding, for the tawil, interpretation of our tariqah. Let me repeat so you agree with me. What did Imam say? Sadly, एकदम निराश होकर अफसोस के साथ फरमाने लगे कि काश मेरी जमात मुझे पहचानती। कभी फरमाया ये 50 साल गोल्डन जुबली में। क्या हम इमाम को नहीं पहचानते हैं? Think about that for a second. Why does Imam, after 50 years, with a sad face, sadly said to our leaders, perhaps my Jamaat would recognize me? Because we are paying attention to the zahir, to the physical, but not understanding the tawil, the interpretation, the batin of our tariqah, of our ginan, of our farman, of the Quran. So Ali al-Zaman is still fighting with you, as it says here, that you will fight the people, your follower, over the tawil interpretation of the Quran. And Imam, after 1400 years, still fighting, and we are refusing, ignoring, not understanding. That makes our Imam sad. Let's come to today's, because if you understand that, then it would be easy for us to understand today's lesson. Last question that was left at the end of fourth session: how is it possible for us to recognize Imam? इमाम शनासी किस तरह करें? ये सवाल पर हमने अपनी पिछली क्लास को इख्तिताम पर लाया था. How is it possible and where do we find it? किस तरह से मुमकिन होगा और कहाँ ढूंढे हम? कैसे इमाम शनासी पर आए हम? अभी तक हम बचपने में इधर उधर खोए हुए हैं, जाहिर के ऊपर लगे हुए हैं, बातिन को छोड़ा हुआ है. अभी तक हमारे दिमाग में क्वेश्चन चल रहे हैं कि इमाम इंसान है, इमाम हादी है, इमाम नूर है कि इमाम अली अल्लाह है. I'm not shy about it. It's okay. We are all adult and we can have a adult way of discussion. इसके बारे में हमको शर्माना नहीं है और छुपना नहीं है. हम ओपनली इस पर डिस्कस कर सकते हैं, दोस्त के तरीके से, भाई के तरीके से, जमात के तरीके से, कि आज हम अभी भी 1400 साल के बाद भी, इमाम को 65 साल की इमामत के बाद भी अभी भी आज हमारे दिल में ये सवाल है कि इमाम को किस तरह से समझे। यही कहा ना इमाम ने, काश मेरी जमात मुझे पहचानती। Even after all these years, 65 years of imamat, we still are asking this question. How do we see Imam? Do we see him as a human, as a guide, as a light, or as Ali Allah? But it's okay. As a Jamaat, as a group, as a friend, as a brother and sister, we can talk about this. And we are not going to be shy about it. So the question was, how is it possible to have Imam Shanasi? What is Imam Shanasi? What is recognition of Imam? How do we recognize the Imam? From where do we find this recognition? यही सवाल था ना कि हम कहां पर ढूंढे, क्या ये मुमकिन है? तो हमने उसके लिए 4 जगहें आइडेंटिफाई की है. For that, we have identified 4 places. 1 from the Farman, 1 from the Ginan, 1 from the Quran, and 1 from the books of our Dais and Peace and Hujjatan. And that is how we will recognize the Imam of the time. Otherwise, only thing we are doing is we are arguing, still asking, how do we recognize the Imam? या तो हमने छोड़ दिया, बस जो हमने समझा वो समझा, बाकी का अल्लाह अल्लाह खैर सल्लाह. But that is not our tariqah, as our tariqah is the tariqah of intellect and logic. And Imam wants us by Farman to recognize him. And those are the 4 sources which we will use for our understanding of Imam. So let's start with the very first Farman, not very first Farman, sorry, the Farman where Imam is telling us what is the fundamental principle in our tariqah. In the Farman, Allahumma salli ala Muhammadin wa ala Muhammad, Moscow, Russia, January 29th, 1995, Imam says, the fundamental principle is the recognition of Imam. हमारे मजहब का पाया, असूल दीन इमाम शनासी पर रखा गया है. The foundation, the fundamental principle is sits on the recognition of the Imam of the time. Without recognizing the Imam of the time, we can call ourselves Ismaili if we like to. As Imam Sultan Muhammad Shah Salawatullah alayhi, our soul be sacrificed to that Imam says, there are many amongst you who have enrolled their names in Ismaili Tariqah. They are only Ismaili by name, otherwise they have no understanding of our Tariqah. How sad. पिछले इमाम फरमाते हैं कि आप में से बहुत सारे ऐसे लोग हैं जिन्होंने अपना नाम इस्माइली मजहब में दर्ज किया हुआ है, मगर वो सिर्फ नाम के इस्माइली है और उसको हमारे मजहब के बारे में कुछ भी पता नहीं है. क्या ये अफसोस की बात नहीं? और फिर मौला बापा 50 साल इमामत के बाद अफसोस के साथ फरमाते हैं कि काश मेरी जमात ने मुझे पहचाना होता. After that फरमान, मौला बापा after 50 years of the 49th Imam sadly have to draw our attention to the very fact that sadly my Jamaat have not recognized me. Mullah says, it is he who interprets the faith. It is he who guides the Jamaat in the interpretation of its faith at any time during his lifetime. आपको अगर आप भूल गए हैं, दोबारा से देखें इस हदीस को. जिस तरह से मैंने तंजील के लिए जंग की, इमाम तावील के लिए जंग करेंगे. आपने देखा? And then Imam, after all this year, is saying, it is me who will do the tawil, who will show you the interpretation, understanding. Now, how old is this Farman? 27 years? If my accounting is correct, this Farman is 27-year-old. How many times have you seen Imam Zaman come to the Jamaat Khana, sits amongst us, or somehow, somewhere we received a page, a pamphlet, a booklet where Imam have done the tawil of the faith and the interpretation of Quran. Why don't we ask question? Why don't we pay attention? Imam told us this 27 years ago. Have we, honestly, be honest to yourself, have we seen Imam in last 27 years since this Farman sent an interpretation of Quran? If your answer is, I have not seen it, then my answer also is, I have not seen it. I don't remember Imam ever coming to Jamaat Khana, ever coming to Darbar Hall, and then he would sit there, he will open the Quran book, and he will say, look, this ayat means this. Look, this ayat means this. Let me show you from the Quran. Let me make you understand the tawil, the interpretation of the Quran. Why don't we ask question? If someone would ask the question and says, maybe Imam forgot, I would disagree with him. If someone would say, maybe Imam have done the interpretation, but I have not seen it, then I would agree with them. हम क्यों पूछते नहीं है कि जब इमाम ने 27 साल कबल ये फरमान फरमाया कि मैं चाहता हूं और आप समझे इस बात को कि हमारे तरीके का पाया इमाम शनासी पर रखा गया है और इमाम ही है जो आपके दीन का, आपके तरीके का और कुरान का तावील फरमाएगा। लेकिन फिर 27 साल हो गए, हमने इमाम को कभी भी नहीं देखा जमात खाने में आते हुए या दरबार हॉल के अंदर आकर बैठे और कुरान खोले और दिखाए हमको कि देखो कुरान की आयतों की ये मानी है, ये तावील है, हमारे मजहब का यहाँ पर जिक्र है, यहाँ पर इमाम का जिक्र है, यहाँ पर हमारे तरीके का जिक्र है, यहाँ पर ये है, यहाँ पर ये है। हमने कभी भी नहीं देखा। तो फिर आप पूछते क्यों नहीं है कि क्या इमाम भूल गए? तो मैं एग्री नहीं करूंगा कि इमाम भूल गए। अगर आप कहेंगे कि हो सकता है कि इमाम ने कुरान की तावील और मजहब की इंटरप्रिटेशन फरमा दी और हमने नहीं देखी, तो मैं एग्री करूंगा आपके साथ। Maybe he has done it, but we did not see it. We did not understand it. We ignored it, or we did not care for it. Then I would agree. फिर मैं आपसे एग्री हूं कि इमाम ने फरमाया तो जरूर 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 की होगी। इमाम भूल नहीं जाते हैं। If Imam said it, then he must have done it, as he would not forget. But maybe we were not paying attention. Maybe we were not looking. Maybe we saw it and ignored it. Or maybe we just did not care for it. Remember the word, Ali would fight with you, the people, for the interpretation of the faith of the Quran. देखें, हम सब भाई भाई हैं, हम सब दोस्त हैं, हम सब इमाम के रूहानी बच्चे हैं, और ये डिस्कशन हमारे दरमियान में एक दोस्ताना माहौल में हो रहा है। Remember, we are brother, sister, we are the spiritual children of Imam, and this discussion is to wake us up, to draw our attention toward Imam's Farman and toward the things which may be not intentionally but unintentionally we have ignored. Remember, Imam is the king of the king. When king wanted to build a castle, what does he do? Does he sit and start making the castle, or does he appoint and assign to those who are capable of doing this work? Think about it in English for a second. Let me go to our Urdu speaking friend. याद रखें कि इमाम बादशाहों का बादशाह है, और जब बादशाह को एक महल बनाना होता है तो वो क्या खुद बैठकर मट्टी लेकर, सीमेंट लेकर, पत्थर लेकर, रेती लेकर घर बनाता है, या वो किसी को ये काम सौंपता है कि जो ये काम कर सके, जो इस काम करने के काबिल हो, जो इस काम करने में मास्टर हो, वो उसको काम देता है कि तुम ये घर बनाओ, मेरी ख्वाहिश है मुझे एक घर बनाना है। और हम एग्लेमोंट की एग्जांपल ले सकते हैं, लिस्बन में अभी नया घर बन रहा है, उसकी एग्जांपल ले रहे हैं। Imam wanted to build a new place in Lisbon. We can take that example. Did Imam sit there and make their home, remodel their home, make the garden, the look and feel, the furniture, the carpet, the wall? No, he found the proper people who are capable and are master in their field to do so. Now you are paying attention to what I'm saying. When Imam said that I will do the interpretation, I will explain the faith, I will show you the way. What does Imam do? He does the farman, amar, hukam, and then his murid, garib people, the slaves, the follower, the true mu'minins follow on the path, on the wish of the Imam. Maybe Imam have already done the interpretation and have given to those chosen one who are capable to forward this interpretation to the Jamaat in the language, in the vocabulary that they would understand. Imam did not forget. Imam have done his job. Imam Amar का मालिक है, कुन फयकुन का मालिक है. He is the Lord of Amar, and he has the Amre Kun. When he wish, it happens. And how does he do it? He do it through his proper, capable, eligible मोमिनीन. वो मोमिनों के जरिए से आपको सिखाता है. But the problem is, and remember, I am being honest here, there we are waiting and waiting without asking question. That one day Imam will come, he will sit amongst us, maybe he will come on this Zoom classes. One day Imam will hold a Zoom class on these channels. How nice would it be, right? कितना मजा आवे कि इमाम एक दिन हमारे दरमियान में इन क्लासेस के अंदर आवे और कहें कि अच्छा बच्चों कुरान खोलो, मैं आपको कुरान का इंटरप्रिटेशन सिखाता हूं. That's a good wish. That is a fair understanding. That would be nice to have. But remember, Imam is the king of the king. वो उसका काम करने का तरीका अलग है. जिस तरह से कोई मुल्क का प्रेसिडेंट, किसी कंपनी का सीईओ, मैनेजर, वो अपने स्टाफ से काम लेता है, इसी तरह से इमाम अपने मुरीदों से ये काम करवाते हैं. Just like a president, a CEO, a manager of a company take and implement his policy through his employees, his capable workers. Imam does the same. When president said, I will implement so and so law, he doesn't do it. His cabinet does it. Then his cabinet doesn't do it. The lawmaker does it. Lawmaker even doesn't do it. The different departments within applies those law to the people. चूंकि हम अलग कंट्री में है तो मेरी एग्जांपल हो सकता है आपको समझ में ना आए कि हमारे यहाँ जो IRS है, इमिग्रेशन सिस्टम है, पुलिस डिपार्टमेंट है, FBI है, अलग लॉ इन्फोर्समेंट है, वो लोग उन लॉ को इम्प्लीमेंट करते हैं जिसका हुक्म, जिसके लिए साइन की थी प्रेसिडेंट ने. That is the example that in today's world, in your country, look around you. When president or the prime minister or the governor signs a decree, passes a law, then he does not come and teach you the law. It is the other departments under him that explains and enforce the law. इसी तरह से जब इमाम फरमाते हैं, when Imam says something, he uses his murid to take the amr forward and explain to the Jamaat. Then if you have any question, ask. Look at this Ginan. Again, this is not a new Ginan to any of us. What is the Ginan? Awal tu, akhir tu, zahir tu, batin tu. He is the manifested. He is the hidden. He is the first and he is the last. If you look to the left of this chart on your screen, he is the human. He is in human form. He is the Hadi. He is the guide. He is the Noor hidden in the Imam. And he is the Awwal, Ali Allah. You see, the interpretation, the tawil, the understanding, the foundation of the faith was right in front of us, but we were not looking. आपने देखा कि ये तो हमारे बिल्कुल नजरों के सामने था कि वही अव्वल है, वही आखिर है, वही जाहिर है, वही बातिन है, वो इमाम के जिस्म में है, इंसानी जिस्म में है, वही हादी है और उसी के अंदर खुदावन ताला का नूर छुपा हुआ है और वही अव्वल अली अल्लाह है. It was not anywhere but in front of us, but we were not paying attention to it, or intentionally or unintentionally, willingly or unwillingly, we were not paying attention to it. We were ignoring it. Or we were listening to those people who are trying to deviate you away from the fact. But we are not being shy over here. We are not here, we are not hiding anything. We only wanted to present the facts, the truth in front of you. You choose with your free will to take it or to leave it. क्या फरमाया गिनान में कि तू ही जाहिर है, तू ही अव्वल है, तू ही आखिर है, तू ही बातिन है, तू ही हकीकत हकीकी हमारा मौला है, तू ही हमारा सच्चा मौला है, मास्टर है, तू ही हमारा अली अल्लाह है, तू ही नूर है, तू ही हादी है, तू ही अव्वल है, तू ही आखिर है, तू ही जाहिर है इंसानी जिस्म में और तेरे ही अंदर नूर छुपा हुआ है. My brother and sister, हकीकी मोमिनो, recognize the Imam in front of you. मेरे दोस्तों, मेरे भाइयों, इमाम को पहचाने जो आपके सामने हमारे ही जैसा जिस्म लिए हुए खड़ा हुआ है. Recognize him. उसकी कदर करें, उसकी इज्जत इस तरह से करें जिस तरह से उसकी इज्जत करनी चाहिए. Please pay attention to Imam and recognize the Imam in front of you. Question is always there. Free will remains with each one of us. इस बात को याद रखना कि ना मैं ना ही मेरा मौला आपको फोर्स नहीं कर सकता है. आप चाहे तो उसको आदमी माने, चाहे तो उसको हादी माने, चाहे तो उसको नूर माने और चाहे तो उसको अली अल्लाह माने. इमाम आपके फ्री विल को टच नहीं करता है. It is up to you to accept him or see him as a human, because free will remains with you. No one can take that away from you. Let's come to our next page. And this is just the ayah's reference of that Ginan. The Ginan we just presented, this is the ayahs for it. Huwal awal, huwal akar, huwal zahir, huwal batin, huwal bakulli shayn in alim. He has the knowledge of all things. This is same as the Ginan we just showed to you. How do we recognize the Imam? Through our Peers and Dais books. Imam in 67 and 68, we are talking about the present Imam, guided us toward these books by saying that read first, find and read the books of our Dais and Peer in its original language. He told us this back in 1967, 1968. Then in 2000, he told us to do personal search. Don't wait for Tariqa board and council and Mukhi Sahib and even your teacher to come to you. Personal search. That is Imam's Farman. If you are Imam's follower, you're supposed to follow his Farman. Personal search. And find those classes where ilm is given. Look up the Farman. 2000 Khardar Karachi Farman. And here is the book, Daimul Islam, where there are quotation of the hadith and ayat. Read very carefully the hadith about Bani Abu Muttalib. Who was Abu Muttalib and who's Bani Abu Muttalib? The grandfather of Mullah Ali. Who are Bani Abu Muttalib? Abu Talib, Mullah Ali, Imam Hussein, Imam Zain al-Abidin, Imam Muhammad Baqir, all the way to Shah Karim. Read the hadith about the children of Abu Muttalib, the Imams. Through this holy hadith, Mullah Ali is the legatee, wazir, heir, and the friend, the wali of the Prophet. In this regard, you will find many authentic hadith. Indeed, you know this truth, that every authentic hadith is the explanation of the verse of the Quran. Let me stop here and explain this. Whenever you come to an hadith, how do you know if it's authentic? You will find a cross reference in the Quran. Did you notice what we just did above? We present a Ginan and then we presented a Quran, a hadith, a ayat. Because Talim refer to each other in a circle. What were the four sources? Farman, Ginan, Quran, and the books. And you can circle amongst those four sources of Imam Shanasi. आप जब भी किसी गिनान पे आएंगे, किसी हदीस पे आएंगे, तो आपको उधर कुरान का एक रेफरेंस मिलेगा. जब आप कुरान पर आएंगे, आपको गिनान में उसका रेफरेंस मिलेगा. जब आप फरमान पर आएंगे, आपको किताबों में उसका रेफरेंस मिलेगा. And they all refer back to each other because those are the four sources of Imam Shanasi. जब जब आप कहीं भी जाएंगे, वो एक दूसरे का रेफरेंस आपको देंगे. And In the Quran, in Surah Fatir, in ayat number 32, talks about this. Remember Imam Surban, personal search? Look it up. Look up the ayat referred to here. Surah 35, ayat number 32. So you understand how all of these sources are referring to the fact about the Imam and the progeny of the Imam and the truth of the Imam and the recognition of the Imam. The last reference, and that is, if you truly want to find Imam in the Quran, then do some personal search and find how many times word Ism Imam is present in the Quran. To help you out, I'm telling you, there are 12 references of the Imam directly or indirectly in the Quran. अगर आप चाहते हैं कि आप इमाम के फरमान को फॉलो करें, तो जाएं, पर्सनल सर्च करें, देखें कुरान के अंदर कि कितनी मर्तबा इमाम का डायरेक्टली या इनडायरेक्टली रेफरेंस आया है कुरान के अंदर. मैं आपको बताता चलूं कि 12 मर्तबा इमाम का वर्ड इमाम आया है कुरान के अंदर, कहीं पर डायरेक्टली और कहीं पर इनडायरेक्टली. Another for personal search, इमाम के नूर का जिक्र कुरान के अंदर 49 मर्तबा आया है. The second thing, I would like you to look it up. If you truly want to follow Imam's Farman of the personal search, Allah's Noor, which is in Imam, is mentioned in the Quran 49 times, directly or indirectly. If you wanted to have Imam Shanazi, if you wanted to recognize the Imam as Imam's wish you to do so, look it up. 12 times word Imam, 49 times Imam's Noor is mentioned in the Quran. How amazing it is that today we are living in the time of 49th Imam. What is the significance of that? Think about it. Inshallah, in our next session, next week, we will refer to 12 references of Imam from the Quran. So do not forget to follow the Imam's Farman of personal search. Let me stop here. Thank you everyone for paying attention. Now we can open the floor. If you have any comments, anything you like to add, any question you like to ask, please ask. G.
Subhanallah, sir, Subhanallah. Friends, please share your questions in the chat. Okay, still we don't have any questions in the chat at this time. Friends, anyone have any questions? Unmute your device.
Ya Ali Madad Aziz sir. Aziz
Ya
ba.
Ali Madad.
Ya Ali Madad Aziz ba. Aziz ba, આજે તમે અમને સમજાવ્યા એ સમજ પડે છે કે આ બધું, પણ મને થાય છે કે હજી જાહેરી છે. મને તો મોલાને મારા દિલમાં ઓળખવાનું છે, બાતુની પાસ. તો ઈ કેવી રીતે થાશે હવે? આ બધું હું વાંચીશ, પણ ઈ દિલમાં કેવી રીતે બેસી જશે તો સાચી ઓળખાણ થાય?
G. So my sister is asking that I could do personal search, I could read all of this, and I can see all of this in the books and the Gnan and the Farman and the Quran, but how would I recognize him in my heart? જો ઇલ્મ અને ઈમાનના તન દરજા છે. ઇલ્મ અને ઈમાનના તન દરજા છે. There are three stages of ilm and the faith. Ilmul yaqeen. First step of the ilm and the faith is ilm, knowledge, understanding. That is the reason that Imam himself has emphasized on personal search and told us where to find this ilm. Ilm must come physically initially. બધાથી પહેલે ઇમામે આપણે શું કીધું કે તમે ઇલ્મને વાંચો, ઇલ્મને સમજો, પછી ઈ ક્લાસીસમાં જાઓ જ્યાં પર ઇલ્મ સમજાવવામાં આવે છે. શું કામે કે ઇલ્મ પહેલા ચોપડીઓથી વાંચવાથી સમજવાથી સાંભળવાથી આવે છે. પછી ઈ બીજા દરજામાં જાય છે. And then only it goes to the second level of Ainul Yaqeen, the second step of the ilm and the faith, and that is Ainul Yaqeen. Ainul Yaqeen comes from two sources. One is your dream and one is your Ruhaniyat. In other words, it comes when you start to think on the ilm that you have learned, and second comes through the ibadat in the Ruhaniyat. But if you have not crossed the first stage of ilmul yaqeen, then how would we cross and come into the second stage? જ્યાં તક આપણે પહેલું કામ નહીં કર્યું હશે કે ઇલ્મુલ યકીન પૂરું નહીં લઈ લીધું હશે, આપણે બીજા સીડીમાંથી કેમ ચડશું, બીજા માળામાંથી કેમ જાશું? એટલે કે બીજો માળો જે છે એ ખાબ અને ખ્યાલનો છે, યાની કે ઇબાદત અને રૂહાનિયતનો છે. લેકિન અગર આપણે સમજ હશે તો આપણે વહાં જાશું. જે તમારો ક્વેશ્ચન હતો કે કેમ, આવી રીતે આપણે ઇન્શાલ્લાહ ઇલ્મુલ યકીન પછી ainul યકીન માથે જાશું. That's how we will cross the ilmul yaqeen initially through those sources, and then we will go into the ibadat and ruhaniyat, and there we will recognize the imam for the second time, not first time. First time we will recognize through the ilm, second time we will recognize through the ibadat and ruhaniyat. Ji.
Thank you, Shukr.
Sir, we have a question in the chat. Recently, there were classes after Jamaatana in London, and ALWAAZ effectively said that if you believe Ali Allah, keep it to yourself. This makes it difficult to share our learning with others.
Okay, which is perfectly fine. If you look to your screen again onto the left side, you can have the belief on 4 different stages. Maybe she's afraid of saying Ali Allah. Maybe. I don't know. I don't want to judge anyone. But here Nachi said, I'm not afraid nor shy. I'm not going to be shy about it. If you have the faith on Imam as Ali Allah, initially keep it to yourself. Learn more, learn more, learn more until you come to a junction where you can comfortably talk about it. Comfortably talk about it. Then only give this knowledge to your family first. Charity begins at home. Are your brother and sister, your family, your children have the knowledge of the Imam, the recognition of Imam? That it needs to come from there. Then friend, and then Jamaat. And all this happens with ilm and ilmul yaqeen. So like I said, without judging anyone, she is right in her place. And remember, Talim is on different level too. At least she has relayed this message that Allah is true, and if you believe, keep it to yourself. That acknowledgement is much greater than those who deny, refuse, ignore, completely go against the Ismaili Tariqa's belief of Ali Allah. She is much better. I agree with her. G.
Sir, friends is asking if you can put on Surah Hadid 57:3 on the screen.
Can I?
Yes, sir.
Okay. G. Any other comments or question? Or was there any question from this hadith?
يا المدد الويس الويس मेरा आजिज़ाना अम्बल रिक्वेस्ट ये जैसे मैंने पहले भी अर्ज किया कि मैं एक मुहाजिर एक बदबख्त एक रेफ्यूजी पाकिस्तान में रहा इंडिया में रहा कनाडा में रहा बहुत सारी जगह में 40-50 मुल्कों में अभी भी घूमता हूँ हमारे ये जमात की कैरेक्टर हम बहुत अच्छा तरह पेश आए जिस टाइम पे मजबूर मुश्किल बदबख्ती में था हमारे जमात एक नरीन बहुत ज्यादा है और इस एक नरीन में ना खुद को पहचान सकता है ना अपना इमाम को पहचान इमाम के पहचान के क्या फायदा होता है जब हमारे सारे दाइयों जब औलिया बन गया तो इमाम की पहचान से होता तो पहले खुद को पहचान वही बार बार वो मौला अली का जो कहना मन आरफ नफ्स फक़त आरफ रब्बो तो ये पॉलिटिक्स एक नरीन जब खत्म होंगे तो फिर ये आइनुल यकीन इल्मुल यकीन ये चीज़ें समझते हैं तो मैं आप अगर आदम से अभी तक आप देखो सारे अनबिया प्रोफेट मोहम्मद तक तो पहले सोचो आदम बोला कि मेरे बाद शीश आएगा तो मूसा बोला मेरे बाद हारून आएगा ये इब्राहिम से इस्माइल आएगा तो दाऊद से सुलेमान से दाऊद आएगा तो ये सारे किसी को रेफरेंस दिया कि भाई आखिरी कोई आने वाला है अगर आपको इल्म सीखना है अगर रूहानियत सीखना है आप खिज़र के पास जाओ आप और ये सारे वहां से यहाँ तक प्रोफेट मोहम्मद तक सब एक आदमी को
Is there a question or
no it's a common
I see okay so we all understand
no 1 minute not understand just give me 1 minute please and all the reference come all this prophet 124,000 come to Mawla Prophet Muhammad and Prophet Muhammad was a Ujjat who represent Ali is the completion of the faith when the ayah come al-yawma akmaltum dinakum wa atmamtum alaykum to ये एक सिर्फ इस्माइली का कहना नहीं दूसरा सुन्नी सूफियों का भी कहना है कि सारे कुरान का जो सारे आयत आया अली की शान में आया अब शान अहमदुल्लाह का अब उसके शायरी और उसके फलसफे ये दीनी फलसफे का अगर समझ में आवे वो सारे हर आयत कुरान अली की शान पे आए तो ये हम पूरा कभी इस तरह कंप्लीट नहीं कर सके इंशाल्लाह आप इसको हमको अगर कुछ मिस्टेक है समझाओ शुक्रिया
Thank you so much, my brother. In just not even 30 seconds, my brother was saying that from the beginning, from the time of Adam, the recognition of Imam was given through the prophets, Natikins, our dais, Hujatan, Peers, Imams. And that was the gist of everything he just said. Thank you so much. Do we have any other comments or question? Please, if you are wanted to make a comment, you are welcome. Keep it to like 30 seconds or less. And if you have any question, do the same. G, go ahead. Any other comments or question? If not, we can definitely surely stop here. And then we can continue on the subject 6 next week, where if you would like to on your own with Imam's Farman, like to do some personal search as Imam wish you to do. And if you wanted to follow that, look up or try to find 12 references of Imam in the Quran. That would be our next subject next week. If you like to do that, you're welcome to do that. And I hope some or most of you would do that. Any last comment, last question before we end here? Last chance. Okay, if not, let's stop here. Thank you everyone for joining us. May Mola bless you. May Mola always be with you. May Mola guide you with his nur. May Mola always and always
Amen.
keep his khanavadan and blessing on you
Amen.
and your family. Ameen.
Amin.
Ya Rabbal
Amen.
Alameen.
Amen.
Thank you everyone. Yali Madad.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah.
Yali Madad and thank you.
Yali Madad.
Amin.
Yali Madad.
Amen.
Yali Madad. Yali Madad.
Yali Madad.
Yali Madad.
Amin.
Ameen. Ameen. Thank you everyone. Yali Madad. Yali Madad.
Ya Ali Madad, sir. Thank you.
Yali.
God bless you.
Ameen. Ameen. Yali Madad.
Ya Ali Madad, sir.
Yali Madad.
Yali Madad.
Yali Madad. Yali Madad.